Chris Lynch News with Airpark Canterbury. Trusted parking, backing trusted news.
Politics Friday, Reuben Davidson and Hamish Campbell are with me. Good morning to you, gentlemen.
Good morning, Chris. Great to be here. Good morning, Reuben. How are you?
I'm very well, Hamish, and thank you, Chris, for having me.
You're welcome. Let's discuss the Māori Party now appear to be going for this victim mentality, Reuben, where they're victims of an oppressive regime, despite the fact they were found to be breaching the rules of Parliament. I mean, they, in some respects, they're public relations experts, aren't they?
I don't know if I'd say that. I mean, I think technically they broke the rules. I think the sense here that they've received is disproportionate at 3 weeks. It's certainly a lot bigger than we've ever seen.
Hamish, what do you say?
Look, I think we need to be really clear what the actual punishment is for. It's actually for interrupting a vote. Every MP should be free to cast their vote and also getting out of their seats. There's an antiquated law that you have to stay 2.5 sword lengths away from each other, and of course they breached it. We have a democracy where we don't. It's not pistols at dawn. It is actually a careful, controlled debate where ideas should be debated and no one should be intimidated and things like that. When you have people potentially having a gun symbol and pointing at people, I think that is something that is very serious. Of course, they did have the option of attending the Privileges Committee. They chose not to. And let's not forget, actually, there was a Labour MP involved in this chaos as well. They did apologise, and that has been handled very differently.
Isn't it interesting? I almost forgot about that, yeah. Yeah, Reuben, why do you say the punishment's too severe? I mean, they broke the rules, they're rule breakers, and they got dished out this punishment, and now they're on television crying. Why do you say it's too much?
Well, what I'm saying is it's disproportionate. So there's been a number of people who have broken protocols or rules within Parliament in the past. They've gone to the Privileges Committee or the Privileges Committee has made a ruling, and the largest suspension prior to this 3-week suspension was 3 days. So it is significantly larger than anything that's previously been handed down.
What I'm concerned about is the fact that I'd love to hear the Māori Party talk about policy, what they're going to talk about, for their people, all these types of things that they've been doing, this kind of agitation. I mean, it plays into the media's hands because it looks great on television to see them doing their haka and then crying on Māori television. But it feels like a bit of a sideshow though, Reuben.
Well, look, I think the best people to talk about Māori Party policy are the Māori Party. Reach out, make contact with them, see if you can get them on for a chat.
Not a bad point, maybe I will. The Green Party's budget, what do you make of that, guys? Hamish, to you first. I mean, they want to give away basically lolly scrambles. It's being called political fantasy. What do you say?
Look, I think it's absolutely nuts. I think it's and I think the La La Land there's been all sorts of words used to describe it. It's going back to kind of a really high tax, high spend kind of environment. We've been there. It's been disastrous for our country. And of course, they want to go and repeat it. There's a whole list of taxes they want to introduce, $88 billion more taxes. And I've actually got a list here because there's kind of so many of them. It's a higher income tax. It's a wealth tax. It's a trust tax. It's an inheritance tax. It's a higher ACC levy, a higher company tax, a private jet tax, higher mining taxes, and bringing back Labour's broken tenant taxes. So the thing is, it also increasing our debt. And let's be clear, we spend more on our debt repayment after the last government than we spend on primary and secondary education combined. And the Greens actually want to make sure that we increase that debt even further. And I think the question becomes to Labour, which of these taxes are they happy to be? Because they are going to be the coalition partners.
Let's ask Reuben. I know Labour hasn't really responded to the Green Party's massive tax spend up. So what do you say, Reuben?
Oh, look, I think it's great that they've got a plan. I haven't spent any time really digging in and taking a look at it. We've got a plan too. It's jobs, health and homes. But more importantly, our focus at the moment is what is National's plan? Because so far what we've seen is that National's plan is to reach into the purses and back pockets of some of the lowest paid workers in New Zealand to pay mega landlords and big tobacco hundreds of millions of dollars.
Okay, but you didn't answer my question though. What do you make? What do you make of the Green Parties wanting to tax left, right, and centre, Ruben? And what do you agree with in terms of their budget?
Oh, look, I think it's great they've got a plan. I haven't looked into it. My focus is entirely on what the National Party are planning to do and what else they're planning to cut in next week's budget.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad Ruben is very interested in our plan because, of course, we are trying to grow the economy so we can actually deliver better public services. And look, there's been a lot talked about landlord tax, but let's actually see what impact we've had. Last year, 27% of real estate sales were to first home buyers. That's the highest it's been in decades. We've seen an increase of 30 to 40% of rental listings, according to Trade Me data across the country. And here in Christchurch, I think it's closer to 40%. We've seen a decrease in rent of 1.8%. Appreciate that's not a huge decrease in rent, but there's far more options available to people renting. So actually, we're restoring the rental market, and we're also helping people get into houses, which is far more than the previous government did.
Ruben, do you want to respond to that?
Well, I don't understand how any of that's an argument for needing to give mega landlords $3 billion at the same time that you're taking money off some of our lowest paid workers and delivering in real terms.
We're not taking money off.
Pay cut for
we're actually making sure we've given tax cuts to people to put more money in people's back pockets. And you were saying, how does some of our changes help? Well, I'll tell you that we can't have built that many houses to have that increase in number of rental listings. So actually, we've seen people coming back into the market and actually providing rental accommodation that we need.
Hamish,
so is the message.
Go ahead, Ruben.
I'm just wondering if the message then is sorry to 180,000 of our lowest paid workers, our nurses, our hospice workers, our caregivers, our plunket nurses. Sorry to them, but they're going to have to pay the $3 billion that you needed to give to landlords. Is that what you're saying?
That is a ludicrous kind of assumption. No, we're not cutting anybody's pay, and we have given tax cuts. We've given family boost. We are making sure that those in need get help. But
I'm surprised you're still talking about family boost.
Restoring the rental market, so actually people can have cheaper rents. We can actually have an impact on the cost of living.
Right.
Some of the family boost has been taken out of the National Party talking points.
Yeah, I probably would have been a good idea. The Sumner Mast, the lights. What do we make of this, guys? Ruben, to you on this. I see this as a bit of a non-issue, but the council's spending probably a lot of money when it comes to consultation because a couple of moaners don't like the fact that the Sumner Mast is lit up at night time between, I think it's only about 11 till 12 or something, isn't it?
Look, I'm not sure the exact hours it's lit up, but it's a great local issue. It's exactly what community boards are so good at doing, is facilitating conversations with various people in an area that are concerned about a local issue. We can see it from South Shore, so it is. I'm not sure if any South Shore residents are going to want to submit on that. But I mean, ultimately, it's a community conversation. It's great that the community board can facilitate it, and hopefully they can reach an outcome that everyone's happy with.
I think it looks quite nice. Do you like them, Ruben? Do you like the thing lit up? I mean, do you know what? I don't even think of it as a religious symbol because it's not, is it?
Look, I haven't given much thought to whether it's the context of it or what message it may have. I haven't given it much thought because I don't spend evenings in Sumner, so I don't actually see it lit up. But I mean, our pier in New Brighton is lit up and it's got colour change lights. But there's no light pollution that comes off that. I think that might be an issue some people have in Sumner. Again, that's up for the community board to facilitate, and I think and hope they'll do a good job.
Hamish, do you like the lights being switched on?
Oh, actually, can't say really in Sumner. Usually in the evening when it would be lit up. I do believe it is an historical landmark. It was originally a signalling signpost, I do believe. Look, and I think that is probably for the locals to discuss. It is quite away from the Ireland electorate, to be perfectly honest. So I think people can have a feedback, and I think they should have a feedback on whether they think it should be lit up or not.
Oh, gentlemen, get out of your own suburbs. Get out of your own suburbs and have a look at Sumner. It's a lovely place. Can't believe that you're so insular with your own electrics. Shame on you. James Daniels.
We've got the best beach in Christchurch. We've got the best beach in Christchurch right here in New Brighton. Why would I need to go to Sumner?
Fair enough. I'll give you that. It is lovely. James Daniels, what do we make of this, confirming his candidacy for the Coastal Ward? People's Choice initially approached him to stand in ECAN, Reuben, but he said no, he wants to be an independent. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think that's a bit of misinformation, Chris. I think you've got to be careful conflating the People's Choice making a formal approach to someone to be a candidate versus a member of the People's Choice having a conversation in a cafe with someone about whether they're interested. My understanding from the media reporting I've seen and from James's account of it is that the latter is what happened. So less of a formal approach, more of a conversation in a cafe.
Would you support him in the Coastal Ward?
Look, I don't think I should endorse any one candidate in the Coastal Ward. I'm really excited to see a lot of people putting their name forward for local body elections. I think that's great. I encourage voters, ratepayers to make the time to explore all of the people who, find out as much as you can about the people who are running, what they stand for, what their motivations are. And ultimately, with turnout rates as low as they are in local body elections, I really encourage people to vote.
It's good, though, to see that there are lots of People's Choice candidates coming out, and I think that's great for democracy, isn't it? Hamish, to you on this, James Daniels. I mean, he did force a by-election.
Last time I was on here with Duncan Webb, you tried to get me to endorse a mayoral candidate. Unlike Duncan, I didn't. I think it's up to the kind of the voters. Look, I think kind of more people in...
Didn't that create a bit of goss, didn't it, eh?
It did. But I think more people into local bodies better. And I think at the end of the day, it's up to the local voters to choose who they want to represent them. And so I think it's a good news.
I'm actually pleased that. I mean, it's in different wards across Christchurch, we're getting really strong candidates from the left and the right, and I think that'll make it. I think it'll make it interesting, won't it, Reuben?
Yeah, I think it will. I mean, it's interesting that you say from the left and from the right, because when you're looking at candidates that run on a ticket, then you get a really clear picture of what their values are, what they stand for, and what their commitments and bottom lines are. The same way that you do with Hamish or I when we run as National or Labour Party candidates in electorate seats. I think we've seen quite a lot of commentary around some people who are running as independents, and there's been this term coined, pretend independence. Not as easy to say as it is to read, but that idea that there are some people who are saying that they're running independently, but potentially they are actually part of a group. They're just not being straight up with the group and the values that they represent and want to bring to council.
I think that's a fair comment. I mean, that probably goes for the right, doesn't it, Hamish? There are a couple of independents that say they're independent, but at the end of the day, their masts are national, aren't they?
I disagree with that totally. I think Labour is far closer to People's Choice, and I think, Reuben, you're a member of People's Choice. We don't have National Party does not run local candidates in local body elections. They're free to do what they like. I don't know whether we can say that across the political spectrum.
Fair enough. Reuben Davidson and Hamish Campbell, thank you very much for your time. Have a lovely weekend, gentlemen.
Thanks, Chris. You too. Enjoy your tram ride.